Hi, I'm Shelley Wood, and this is my tiny sewing room where I make doll clothes sewing videos. Today I want to show you how to sew a sleeveless, reversible shirt to fit Wellie Wishers, Hearts for Hearts Girls dolls, Disney Princess Toddler dolls, and a number of others in this size range. Now here's a look at side 1 and here's side 2 of the finished product, so you kind of know what we're going to make. We'll use a print fabric on one side and solid fabric for the other, and that'll help with the tutorial. But before we begin, please go to shelleywood.com to download this free printable PDF sewing pattern and use the pattern to cut out all the pieces shown here. Now you're going to lay the print back on top of the print front, keeping what we call right sides together like you see in the video. Sew these together at the shoulder. Now I'm using a blue thread to make it more visible for you, but you'd want to use a matching thread color. Lay the other print back on top of the front, just like you see me doing here. And then you're going to sew across that shoulder as well. Trim off the corners. This actually helps when you go to invert it. It won't be as lumpy if you trim off the corner right there on both sides. Open the shirt up and press the shoulder seams that you've just made. Follow the same directions for the solid pieces. So you'll see me building the solid side of the shirt here. And I'm just doing the exact same steps we just went over. Now you should have two bodices that look like this. Okay, set one on top of the other with right sides facing, and that means you got to pay attention to the pretty side of the seam and make sure pretty side of the seam touches pretty side of the seam. I recommend hand stitching this next step for accuracy. You're going to stitch around the neck, starting in the middle of the front piece. Sew across the shoulder seam, down the back closure area, and then when you get near the bottom, you'll turn. And stop stitching when you reach that sort of side seam area. Okay, do this again for the other side, again starting in the middle of the shirt's front. And here I'm using that blue thread so you can see it better. Here's the solid side. That makes it even easier to see what we've done. Now sew around the armhole area. Do this for both armholes. Now your shirt is going to look like this. We're going to clip all the seams that we've done so far, even the armholes. You want to clip the corners as well, and then you're going to clip a notch into the shoulder seam. Remember where we did that trimming? Here's a closer look at that notch. Next, turn the whole garment right side out. I like to use a chopstick to help with inverting. It's easiest if you start at the bottom of the front where there's an opening. So that's what I'm doing here. Now, when you get to the shoulder seams, it can be tricky. Use your chopstick's thicker end and kind of turn it sideways or round ways over and over until it pushes through. Your shirt's going to look like this on the print side when you get it inverted, and it's going to look like this on the solid fabric side. Press all the seams you've done so far. Now place your index finger inside that hole in the back piece, and you're going to flip the back over to the front, but you need to separate the solid piece of fabric from the print piece of fabric and pinch the print pieces together. Then we sew them together from the underarm going down. Now that's tricky to understand, so here I am doing a video. I put my finger inside the back, and with the front I separate the print from the solid fabric. And you want to keep that back open as much as you can. It helps to use a finger if you can. And then insert your needle and thread right where the two underarms come together. But you're not sewing the solid fabric, only the print. Stop stitching at the finished edge of the back. Hopefully this video clip will kind of help too. So here I am stitching from the underarm down. See how I keep looking at the opening of the back? That helps me make sure I'm keeping the back open and not stitching any of the solid fabric. Now when you get to the bottom where the back seam is closed off, that's when you tie your knot. Here's another angle to kind of help you understand, because really two-sided garments are tricky. Stitch the solid fabrics together now, and this video will really help you understand, so you can see that we have attached the prints but not the solids. The solid fabric still hasn't been sewn, so we're going to flip the front solid piece around until the sides for the front and the back touch with right sides together. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm starting to turn it around, and it can be a little fiddly, so be patient and try again. Keep your finger inside that hole where the back piece is open, okay? And then insert your needle again at the underarm. Now I like to use a backstitch, and that's what you'll see in the next video clip, is I'm using a backstitch to sew this. If you need help with a backstitch, I have a tutorial for that too. Just kind of showing you what it looks like and where we start sewing. Okay, so here I'm doing my backstitch. I sew all the way down until I get to the bottom. Okay, and we're going to follow these same steps to stitch the other side seam too, so that you end up with two side seams. Then you're going to pinch the front fabric along the bottom of the front, pinch it together, and whip stitch along this edge, and I have a video clip for that too. So here we see that open back piece where we just finished that last side seam. Okay, we're going to pull that, and then we're going to pay attention to this opening at the bottom of the front for a minute. You're going to turn the raw edges inside with your thumbs, just like you see me doing here. Kind of pinch those in until the raw edge is buried inside. Then you're going to take your needle and thread, and you want to kind of hide your knot inside the fabric if you can. That can be tricky, but you want to get it down in there a little ways. There we go. And then we start to whip stitch this edge right along the edge of the bottom of the front piece. Once again, we'll whip stitch along the bottom of the front. And we're almost done, so hang in there. I know two-sided garments are tricky. Measure and cut your Velcro for the back closure. Attach one strip on the print, that's shown on the right, and then one on the solid side. So one's on the print side, one's on the solid side. Make sure the hooks and then the soft sides face out. I don't know if you've ever accidentally done one backwards. I've done that. Okay, and here I am sewing the Velcro on. You'll notice that side is the print side. One side was the print side, one the solid. And now your garment is going to look like this on the print side, and it's going to look like this on the solid side. So we're ready to try it on a doll. And look at my little Wellie Wisher. She is so cute. For more free printable sewing patterns for making all kinds of doll clothes to fit dolls of many shapes and all different sizes. Please remember to visit my website, shelleywood.com. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my videos and my free patterns, please share them on social media. It actually helps my website grow when you help spread the word.